What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to Big Apple Baseball Banter, the home of all things Mets, Yankees, and baseball in general. Today, we're starting a new show on the channel. No, I'm not. We're still doing our podcast like usual, all that. And we're doing another tier list, but this is a whole tier list series of power ranking. And I'm not doing this alone, but I'm also not doing with Ben. I'm not doing this with Ben. Fuck, I can't talk. I'm bringing on my buddy Mayor. Mayor, say what up to the people.
What up, boys?
All right, so Mayor's a big time Yankee fan.
Hell yeah.
We talk baseball a lot, and he wants to come on the show. So I'm like, yeah, man, we'll do a new series together. So basically, how this works, this is a tier list. Everyone knows what this means. S is the best. A is it's like school grades, A, B, C, D, but S is better than A. And S is kind of World Series contender. A is playoff team. B is like playoff contender. C is close to playoff, like kind of below that. And, F is like rebuild, and D trash. So stuff like that. So we got all 30 teams here, and let's get into this. So first up, we have the New York Yankees, and I don't think they're an amazing team right now. Their pitching
Nah,
staff is bad. I would say they're a B tier team right now. You're obviously the Yankees guy. What do you think?
I would agree. I mean, moves that they've been making lately.
Lack of.
They're actually not making any moves. I would have signed DJ LeMahieu already, or find someone to trade because like nothing. There's no business. Nothing's building up
Yeah,
properly.
I think you'll end up bringing him back. I think they're just trying to see what his market is, and then they'll try and match it. I wouldn't be
Yeah,
too worried about. I'd be a little worried about him going somewhere else. I don't think the Mets are going to sign him. I honestly don't know if he's that good of a fit for the Mets, but but the rotation is awful right now. You got
yeah. I'm
Garrett
mostly
Cole.
worried about pitching.
Yeah, Garrett Cole, Luis Severino is going to be out for a bit, and then who do you got? Jordan Montgomery, Devi Garcia, just some
You got
kids.
Herman.
Herman,
Herman is
that
coming
dude's
back.
confusing, man. So he didn't
He
pitch
is
well this year,
confusing.
but yeah, he like retires and then didn't retire. But I think the Yankees eventually will be an A-tier team. I think there's teams that are better than them. The American League as a whole is really bad right now. I think
Yeah,
they definitely
it's
have room to
stupid.
improve, but yeah, the Yankees, I say is fair as B tier. Seattle they're really bad.
Trash. Yeah,
Yeah,
forget about it.
I think they have a very bright future ahead. They got a great farm system, some great prospects they got from the Mets.
That's
That.
true.
But right now their major league squad isn't that good. We don't really have to, go too far into that. Rays, man, I might drag them into C tier, man. Like I know they were just in the World Series, but they just traded Blake Snell. They lost Charlie Morton. There's
Charlie
your
Morton, man.
rotation.
Like
Yeah. They got Glass now, but I don't think he's an ace. I think he's a decent pitcher, but he's not an ace. You got Ryan
he's not an
Yarbrough.
ace.
Like they got not much rotation. Their bullpen's still going to be great. They played Tampa Bay Rays baseball, but I don't think they're that great of a team right now. They're probably going to end up being very good. They do their
Yeah,
thing
also, I
every year.
mean, their offense is also mediocre. I mean, they got some pretty darn good hitters, but it's not that much to actually be a playoff contender, to actually get some hits, get on base.
Yeah, like I think they can make the playoffs, but as their roster stands right now, no.
No, yeah. I
Like I think the
completely
only way they're
agree.
making the playoffs right now is because the American League sucks, and like other than the division winners, the wild cards, like well, you got the Blue Jays, you got teams like that, which I guess we'll get to. But Rays, I think is C
Blue
tier.
Jays are gonna grow.
Blue Jays, I think are B tier. Honestly, they're
Yeah,
definitely below the Yankees, but man, I like they got a young pitching staff with some good potential. Their bullpen
definitely.
worries me, especially with that Ken Giles. But man, their offense is a lot of fun. What do you think?
I mean, for sure. I mean, what you could see from last year completely like a big change. They made the playoffs for the first time in God knows how many years. It's been a
2016,
while.
I
Actually,
think
2015 they
2015.
made it
Yeah,
right.
with
But
like
like
Donaldson and everyone. Yeah,
to have that sink, but then to bounce back like that in a couple of years to get some really good young talent. I mean, they definitely have potential, and their pitching isn't that bad either. They
no, they
just have to
got
work on.
Ryu. Ryu had a great year. They got
Yeah,
Nate Pearson. He wasn't great, but he's a top pitching prospect. He throws
definitely.
insanely hard. They got some other guys. Simeon Woods Richardson's a prospect they got from the Mets in the Marcus Stroman trade. It'd be
Yeah,
interesting to see if he comes up. But yeah, I really like where the Blue Jays are heading. And I think they're going to get a big time infielder to play either
for sure.
third base, shortstop, something like that. They can move some of those guys around. So yeah,
They could also
Miami.
sign LeMahieu.
Yeah, that's the team. If I were you, I'd be worried about them
Definitely.
stealing them from the Yankees for sure. And he'd be a great fit for that team. Miami, I would
I
say
don't know.
they were I think it's a fluke year. I think they're C tier. I don't think they're that bad. but I don't think they're that great, to be
Yeah,
honest. I like their pitching staff. Their pitching staff's pretty underrated. They got Sixto Sanchez, Sandy Alcantara, Pablo Lopez, but their offense I don't think is that good.
obviously
Um,
they traded Urena actually. I
yeah,
mean, they didn't trade him; he was free
they
agent.
released him. Yeah, he signed with
Yeah,
Detroit. I'm pretty sure, but
yeah,
yeah,
one
they
year
don't have that
deal.
many like stud offensive players. That's the thing with them. They got, I think they got a pretty bright future, and also their division and the Mets division is brutal. There's gonna be some great
Yeah,
teams coming out there.
well, you
So
have the Braves. Don't forget the Braves. Braves are
Braves
gonna.
are well, and we're gonna get to the Braves. They're a phenomenal team, but yeah,
They are.
Cardinals. I think they're pretty much like a playoff team. I think their division, everyone's kind of just punting right now. Like no one's really going for it in
Yeah,
their
because the
division.
Cubs.
Yeah, Cubs are who knows what they're doing. The Reds are making some bad moves. They're trying to trade some guys, but
Yeah, definitely.
it seems weird putting the Rays down here. But I really think that's where they're at right now. Like,
I mean, well, yeah, they just traded their two best pitchers and one of the two best pitchers in the league. So I mean, that
yeah,
definitely makes sense. Without them, they're just not a good team.
they're built off their starting pitching for sure. Well, not they're more built on their bullpen,
Yeah,
but you still need guys to go at least like 4 innings. You can't have an opener for 3 games out of 5 in a rotation. So
yeah, that's true.
yeah, Cardinals, I think they got a decent offense. They got some, depth, but they don't have there's some guys that are kind of question marks. Matt Carpenter, I don't think he's that great anymore. Harrison Bader in center field, as good as he is defensively, he hasn't really
You
been
got Paul
hitting.
Goldschmidt at
Yeah,
first base.
Goldie's phenomenal. They got
Yeah, definitely.
Colton Wong, they got rid of him, but they got Brad Miller, who had a great year. Paul DeYoung, I think their shortstop is a pretty underrated player. He has a lot of potential. But
They
yeah,
also need a catcher
they
because
do.
Molina is
Yeah,
a free agent.
Yachty might walk. I think they'll end up bringing him and Wainwright back, but I think they
They
have a
should.
pretty decent rotation if Flaherty can be as 2019 Flaherty. But they're an interesting team. Maybe they're C tier, but I think they're low B. Uh,
Yeah, I agree.
Houston, I
I
think
put them where the Rays are at. Yeah,
I'd put them slightly above the Rays. Like their rotation isn't amazing. It's not awful. It's not
better
amazing
though.
though. A lot of their guys really underperformed last year, and you got to keep in mind, is this because they're cheating, or is it just because of 2020, or they're not cheating, or it's 2020 down year for a lot of guys. That's gonna be interesting. George Springer's not coming back. Michael
That's true
Brantley,
for sure.
he might not come back. You got Kyle Tucker to replace those guys, but other than that, I don't. Their offense. Yuli Gurriel was terrible last year. Martin Maldonado is not a good hitter. You got Bregman. Altuve is a question mark, honestly. Like,
That is true.
is that a fluke of him
I'd
last year?
actually put them at a D because, like, I mean, if you're George Springer isn't back. George Springer was like the best hitter for them. I mean, they got lucky last year by actually making it to the playoffs and going that far. But like
Yeah, we'll
without
put them in
Springer,
low C.
they're not that much.
I don't think they're that quite a D tier team. I think we'll put them in low C. That's fair.
Yeah, it seems fair.
Braves are their S tier, no doubt
They're
about it.
all the way up. Yeah,
Yeah,
for
their
sure.
rotation, they have a top 3 rotation in baseball now. And their rotation was their struggle last year, and they improved on it. They got Soroka coming back, Max Fried had a phenomenal year. Ian Anderson looks
Scott
really
Morton
good.
now,
Charlie Morton, yeah, they got Drew Smiley's a decent 5-starter. They also have good young starting pitching depth, which is really good. And their
but
offense
they're
is just
hitting.
their
They're
offense is
hitting.
phenomenal.
Acuna Jr., man, crushing
Yeah,
those balls.
Freddie Freeman just won the MVP. Ozzy
That's
Albies.
true.
I
He
think they could
did.
use a bit of a third base upgrade, but Austin Riley isn't an awful player. And their outfield, if they
No.
bring back Marcelo Zuna, like he was phenomenal last year. I think he'd
They,
want to
if they
come
bring
back.
back Ozuna, they're gonna definitely be like most probably make it to the World Series and most probably get a ring.
Yeah, man. I hate to say, I hate the Braves, and they're gonna
I
win.
mean,
And
yeah,
they
Mets
and
right
a
here.
lot of and a lot of their players are young, cheap players too. So they're gonna have sustained success.
That's facts right there
And
for sure.
their bullpen is good if they retain some of their guys, bring back Shane Green, Mark Melanson, and
Yeah,
have a few little pieces here. They can be a phenomenal team. They're my number 3 team in baseball right now, but they could be number 1 to be honest. And we'll get to who's 2-1 obviously later. The Orioles are trash. They're bad. I don't think there's too
they're
much to say. They
they
might have the
suck.
worst rotation in the league. Their offense, they have a few players here and there, but they're rebuilding. You don't expect
Yeah,
these guys. Don't expect them to win games. It's not like they're just bad. They should be bad. They're rebuilding, and they'll be good in the future because they're so bad right now.
that's true.
Cleveland, I think they're a C tier team too. Now, right?
Yeah,
Actually, their offense is bad, and it's going to get worse. Lindor's
Well,
gone.
yeah, they lost Carlos Santana. He went to
The
the
Royals.
the Royals, 2-year deal. I mean, their pitching right now is, I mean, with
It's
throughout the
great.
years
They're,
trading
no, their
best
starting pitching
pitching
is
ever.
good. Their starting pitching is real good. Their bullpen isn't great. They got Karinchak, but they let
Was
Brad Hand good. Um,
yeah,
they know how to develop pitchers, and even if they don't have the names, they're still going to get the results from their pitchers. But can you name an Indians outfielder right now? Or sorry, can you name a Cleveland baseball team outfielder right now? They got to.
yeah,
That's
they're
it.
not even the Indians anymore.
Yeah, I think they're going to be the Indians next year because their owner's too cheap to get new uniforms and stuff. So I heard that it's like James Dolan, the Knicks' owner. It's his brother, I'm pretty sure.
uh,
So
uh,
just cheapskates, garbage owners. So yeah, Indians. I think their offense is just so bad. I don't even. Can you name an outfielder from that team?
no, not really.
I'm thinking. I know they let DeShields go, and who else?
They
The
did let
Oscar
this move go.
Mercado. Like, yeah, their outfield is terrible. But okay,
Yeah,
Rockies. I think they're slightly ahead of these rebuilding teams. Now, in the
they are
future,
rebuilding.
they're going to be way down here. Their future is awful. And
But yeah, because they have no picks. I mean, they don't lose a right amount of games to actually get a first pick in the draft, or they don't have enough, money to actually trade players and
and you can't
rebuild.
attract free agents to come to Colorado. That's the thing that's the
That's
biggest
true. I
issue.
mean,
Is like with that stadium with the altitude or whatever in Denver, like it
yeah,
just
it's
pitching
freaking
doesn't happen in Colorado. And they still have a pretty good offense, not great. They got the best left side
Nolan
infield.
Arenado, man.
Yeah, best left side infield in baseball. I think they got the best third baseman and second best shortstop who I really
That's
want
for
the
sure.
Mets to sign next year in free agency. I'm a huge Trevor Story guy, but they
Trevor
might get traded.
Story's, yeah, top.
Phenomenal. But right now, as it stands, I think they're not so bad to be an F, but they're not a good team. Detroit's also F
They're not.
tier. Detroit, they actually have some
They're
young arms.
rebuilding.
Yeah,
I'd put them with the Rockies because, like, they just got AJ Hinch as manager. He was a great manager with the Astros, even though they cheated
I
throughout the
agree
three
for
seasons.
sure.
But like, they're rebuilding, so I mean, I think
Well,
they have a
these other teams are
chance to.
rebuilding too. Like I think the Tigers and Mariners are interesting because they're gonna have the stud offense in a few years. They're gonna have the stud pitching in a few years. But like other than
It's
that,
that,
who do they have? Who are their hitters? Like who's hitting for the Tigers? You got what Miggy and who else? Nico Goodrum. Like I can't name half a team.
yeah.
So that's
But
why I
like
put them.
Cabrera is getting old, so like you can't
Yeah,
really rely on him that much more. He's good. He's a great first baseman, but like,
their offense is just so bad. I don't think I could put him in the Rockies, who at least do something well. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? So, all right, Royals. I think they're like the Tigers light. Actually, I'd put them in D tier. Actually, I don't think they're as bad. I think they actually have a few hitters. Whit Merrifield, Hunter Dozier. They got a
And they
few
just got Santana, so I mean,
Santana. Yeah, they got a few young arms, which is interesting. But I wouldn't put them.
definitely
I don't think they're that bad, but they're still terrible. Um, this might shock you. Brewers are D tier. Brewers are not a good team.
they're
They're
not.
other than Christian Yelich and maybe Keston Hero. Which good hitters you
Can't name
got?
anyone else.
Jed Jerka, or no, he's a free agent. Who like Eric Sogard, and like they got two good pitchers, two phenomenal relievers. I mean, Josh Hader and Devin Williams are unbelievable.
Josh Hader, but they're thinking of actually like they're
Trading
discussing
him,
trades now again
they probably
with
should.
Josh Hader. Yeah,
But yeah, I would put the Brewers in D tier. I don't think they're a good team at all. And this is their old logo too. Luckily, they got a new logo that's way better than this. This logo sucks. So
it does. It's like the
uh,
worst logo out there. It's
terrible,
garbage.
but they got a new one, so that's good. Angels, I would put in C tier. I think they're a bit ahead of
Yeah,
these guys just because their offense is phenomenal. Now it looks like
Mike
Joe
Trout all the
Adell,
way.
yeah, Mike Trout, David Fletcher, Anthony Rendon.
Anthony
It
Rendon.
looks
Yeah.
like I think they'll sign a shortstop, or they got Jose Iglesias, but I think they can still sign a shortstop. Iglesias had a
Wait,
great
when did they
year
get Jose?
from the Orioles. It was like at the start of the offseason. He's a good defender, but I don't know if he's
I've
the hitter he
not been
was
paying
last
attention.
year. But what else? Their starting pitching is still terrible. Their bullpen is still terrible. They got a few pieces here and there, but their offense is so good that,
That's
and
true.
you maybe think about putting them here, but I just they do one thing very well. and
Thing is,
that's
their offense is too good to put them down there. I mean,
exactly.
and they got some great hitters.
Like the Rockies got a great offense too, but like other than Arenado, Blackman, Story, they don't
They're
really have
nothing.
much.
Yeah,
Yeah, so
exactly.
Angels go here. Um, Athletics, A's, I think they're a
I
B
put
tier
them
team
up. Yeah,
too.
right there.
I'd put them in A tier. I think Matt Champ. They got one of the best
Matt Chapman all
defensive.
the way. He's like
Yeah,
my
Matt
favorite.
Chapman's phenomenal. He's one of my favorite players to watch. If not, he's my favorite defensive player like ever.
Yeah,
Watching
I
him field
completely agree.
is so fun.
That
Like
arm though, he just like a dart.
arm is and he plays so deep too, which is like he literally plays on the grass. That's how good his arm
That
is.
that's true. He's like an outfielder.
Yeah, and but their hitting's very good, and I think their rotation has a ton of potential. They always seem to get results from their bullpen, even if they can't retain Liam Hendricks, which I don't think is going to happen. I think there's a small chance they can bring back Marcus Simeon just because he had a down year.
They might bring him back.
But
They
it's the
totally
A's.
should.
They should. It's the A's. They don't really spend money, but I think as the team stands right now, they're not. I think they're a solid beat. They got some holes in their lineup.
That's the
They also have,
beauty about the A's.
yeah,
They
they
don't spend money. They just find talent and they build up their team. That's what they've been doing for years now.
absolutely. So the Phillies, I think they're deep. I think the Phillies are terrible. Honestly,
They're crap. They're
like
like
they have two starting pitchers that get you excited: Aaron Nola, Zach Wheeler, and then the bullpen
yeah.
is maybe the worst bullpen in the league. And then
Fact. My God.
offensively, what do they have besides Bryce Harper? Reese
Harper.
Hoskins. Yeah, Reese Hoskins got like Tommy John in his throwing arm because like of the slide injury. So that should be interesting what happens to
I'm
him.
pretty sure Gregorius is a free agent
He's a
now
free
again.
agent. Yep.
So
Their outfield,
yeah,
other than Harper's, a disaster. Catcher without Real Muto is a disaster. And
yeah, that's true.
they're just not a good team at all.
We got
Pittsburgh,
nothing.
they're so bad. Pittsburgh is
They're
terrible.
down there.
Yeah, they're gonna trade Joe
like
Musgrove. They traded Josh Bell, and I don't even think he's that good.
to
They're
the Nationals.
yep. They got the first pick in the draft. They're probably gonna take that kid Kumar Rocker from Vanderbilt. They're gonna be bad for a little while now. San Diego, they're S tier, dude. Talk about an
Put them
offseason,
up.
dude. They're literally
That's
saving
crazy.
baseball. They got
Got you garbage, Blake Snell.
They got a top 3 rotation now. They got a top 3 offense. If they can retain some of their own bullpen arms, bring back Kirby Yates and Trevor Rosenthal, and maybe add another bullpen arm, they're prime World Series
But also
contenders.
defense.
Their
Like their
defense is good
fielding
too.
is spot
Yeah.
on.
They just signed the dude from Korea, so it's gonna look like he's gonna be
That's
playing
true.
second base. Cronenworth is gonna be playing left field. So that lineup is insane. Trent Grisham just won a Gold Glove, and he had a great year last year. So
Yeah.
Here's a hot take. Texas Rangers are the worst team in baseball right now.
I completely agree.
Their ace is Kyle Gibson. He had like a 5 ERA last year. Yeah. I can name one bullpen arm. It's got like Jose Leclerc, I think his name is, and he's not that good. And then their offense is unfairly bad. Like Joey Gallo, he can be good, but he hasn't really been consistent.
He has his days.
He hasn't been consistent at all.
And they traded Lance Lynn to the White Sox.
They got a great prospect back from him, but you don't know if he's going to be up this year.
That's true.
Dane Dunning, but they're probably going to be the worst team in baseball this year. Their manager sucks too, and gets salty about guys playing baseball, I guess, because he hit a home because Tatis hit a grand slam.
Grand slam, yeah, they got suspended for that.
Boston, I think right now it's between C and D. They're pitching.
I'd put them at C because they got Alex Cora and
low C. I'd say low C. Their pitching is so bad still, but you got Chris Sale's going to come back at one point. You got Eduardo Rodriguez coming back at some point. So they're two great arms right there. I think they will eventually. I think their ceiling is kind of a third or fourth place team. The AL East is starting to become real good again. The NL East and AL East are, good divisions now. So if Boston improves, Toronto's going to improve a bunch. So yeah, Boston, they're a low C team. I think the Giants are the same spot as them. It's just their future sucks. So they have a super old team. That's their biggest issue. Brandon Belt had a great year last year. They got the stud catching prospect Joey Bart. I don't know if he's going to play with Posey coming back, but they don't really have much offensively aside from Belt and Mike Yastrzemski. So their pitching is just average. It's not anything great. It's
It's
not
not the
anything
best.
awful. Kevin Gausman's a solid pitcher, but they got a few prospects here and there, but they're not great.
Yeah.
Dodgers, best team in baseball. There's
Yeah,
not
for
much to say
sure. I
there.
mean,
Best lineup in baseball. Top
Mookie
three
Betts
I'd say
had
a
a
top
crazy year
three
last
or
year.
four rotation. Their bullpen needs a little bit of work, but when you're scoring that many runs, you got Mookie
I
Betts
mean,
and Cody Bellinger playing in the same outfield
I think they have the best offense in the league by far.
by far.
Yeah,
Corey
like no
Seager was
doubt.
insane last year.
Corey Seager was like that guy's something. He's crazy.
And then the craziest part is they also have the second best prospect in base or second best offensive prospect in baseball who hasn't even like started playing well yet and barely played last year in Gavin Lux. So they're going to be scary, dude.
Yeah.
Arizona, I think they're kind of around this range. I really liked their team last year, but they really underperformed. Ketel
I don't
Marte did
know.
not have a good year.
It was a weird year for the Diamondbacks.
It was. I think they have pieces. They're just not a very complete team. They got Zach
Yeah.
Gallen, a young pitcher, I think is very good. But
Like
other
in
than that,
2019, they didn't do so bad.
they weren't. They were good. They had a good year that year. I thought their
They
manager might have
did.
deserved to win manager of the year because they traded Goldschmidt. They lost Corbin in free agency. They
Lost a lot of
traded
players.
Greinke. Yeah, and they still had a good year. So, but right now they're kind of middle. They're a middle of the pack team. Mets,
Definitely.
I think they're like right now they're neck and neck with the Yankees. I know that's
Well,
crazy.
yeah, you got the new owner, Steve Cohen.
Yeah,
You
Cohen's
know,
going to spend
got a lot
money.
of
I think they will be an A-tier team. I think they're going to be a second place team just because the Braves are so good. I think the Yankees will be an A-tier team too. But this is how it stands right now. And their rotation isn't amazing, but I think it will get good. I don't know if they're going to
It
sign.
will get good.
You know, right now it looks like it's going to be DeGrom, Stroman, and then Syndergaard's going to come back at one point. David Peterson had a decent rookie year. Seth Lugo can start, but I think they're definitely going to get someone else there. I'd look at if you guys saw our last video, I went through all the different free agent pitchers and played FMK with that. So that was fun. I'm big on Taiwan Walker. He was on the Blue Jays and the Mariners last year. I'd be interested in signing him. So yeah. But Mets definitely their bullpen bounced back a bit. Their offense is still phenomenal. They got a great catcher now in James
They
McCann.
do.
So I'm excited. It's
Yeah,
always great to have a healthy Mets and Yankees rivalry. So that's gonna be
that'd be
it's gonna
nice. A
be
good
great.
Subway
Yeah,
Series for once.
yeah, absolutely. White Sox, I think they're actually A tier.
Hey,
Like I think the
yeah.
Yankees will be better, but right now I think that the White Sox have a better team. Their offense is pretty
The
close.
Sox have better pitching.
They just have the better rotation. The Yankees probably have the
And
slightly better bullpen, but I think the White Sox bullpen isn't
the
bad.
offense is neck and neck as well. So,
Yeah,
I mean,
I'd give the slight take to the White Sox offensively just
definitely.
because they have a more dynamic roster. They got guys,
Got Lance Lynn, too. Lance
yeah,
Lynn's
and
a very good.
my issue with the Yankees is they do a lot of their hitters do the same thing where
Yeah.
they kind of all strike out, hit home runs. White Sox guys got
Yeah.
guys who
I
do
just
that.
want him to get on base. That's my issue.
Yeah.
He
They
got
got
no base.
Abreu, Madrigal, guys who hit for average, get on base really
That's
well.
true.
So they have a super well balanced lineup, and they're a fun team, man.
And
My issue with them is their manager. I don't know how well he's going to be.
their manager's
Russa,
hilarious.
yeah. So the Twins, I think they're a B tier team. I
Yeah.
think they're probably a second place team in their division. Their pitching still isn't it's not good, but
Not
their
the best.
offense is still
Their offense is good. They got Nelson
real
Cruz.
good. Nelson Cruz, they'll probably bring him back. He's not on the team right now, but he's still got Donaldson.
Right. Keep
Sano,
forgetting
Byron
Donaldson.
Buxton is great. Max Kepler's a good player. They let
Kepler.
they released Eddie Rosario for some fucking reason. I don't know
Why?
Because he's too expensive. I don't get these fucking teams sometime, man. But
Too expensive? They could have. I don't know.
all right, the Cubs, yeah, they're D tier
Cubs
right
are
now.
trash now. I mean,
I
from
texted my Cubs fan friend. I was like, "Hey, how are the Cubs doing?" He's like, "Dude, yeah, I'm gonna wait a couple of years until they're relevant." I said, "Hey, you can become a Mets fan while they tank." So, like, hey, I rooted for you guys when you won your World Series, so you can come root for us.
like
But
not now they're talking about trading Kyle Hendricks, and I'm like, if you're gonna do that, that's
they're
like,
blowing the team up. After you trade
yeah,
Darvish, just blow the team up. Get rid of Bryant, get rid of Baez, get rid of Rizzo.
everyone.
Get the best farm system in baseball, and then wait 3 years. But my issue with the Darvish trade is that they got kids who are like 18 years old, so those guys aren't going to be up for a while. That's my issue with them.
Question is, are these 18-year-olds ready to play? Like,
One, they got 4 prospects, and one of them has played professional baseball,
okay, makes sense.
which that's I don't get what they're doing there. They're clearly going for the long rebuild, but I hope the
Most
Cubs are good
probably.
again because I kind of like the Cubs, but they had a fun team. But man, say goodbye to them.
They had good pitching last year.
They did, yeah. Darvish was great.
Darvish
Hendricks,
was,
yeah, but now, dude, Quintana's a free agent. Lester's a
yeah,
free agent. Like, it's not good anymore, and their bullpen sucks.
their
Their
bullpen
best
sucked
reliever is a
so many
free
games.
agent. Craig Kimbrell, his deal might be up. He was a
He's
fucking
not good anymore.
disaster.
He's
He's
not good
terrible.
anymore.
Yeah, Mister the weirdest sign stance you've ever seen. Who just whack ass arm shit. If you know what I'm
Yeah.
talking about, hanging arm that fans love to mock at games. But yeah, Cubs ain't good. The Nationals, I think they're low C. Their pitching will be good again with
Yeah.
Strasburg coming back from injury. You probably expect a little decline in Max Scherzer, but he's still going to be great.
Max Scherzer's one of the best pitchers in MLB by far.
History, maybe. Like, he's phenomenal. Patrick Corbin, I think, will bounce back a bit. Their bullpen is still terrible. Their offense was so bad last year. Other than Juan Soto and Trey Turner, they're phenomenal. They're elite players. But other than that,
They are.
maybe Josh Bell, maybe you get something out of him. But other than that, who was Starlin
They'll get
Castro?
something out of Josh Bell.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Carter Kieboom showed nothing yet. Victor Robles, nice defender. But other than that, what do you have there? So their offense is just so bad that, you're not going to, as good as your pitching is going to be, you're still going to lose games because your bullpen's going to blow it, and your offense isn't scoring runs. And then last but not least, we got the Cincinnati Reds. I think they're kind of upper C, like around this range.
Yeah.
I thought they had a chance of making the World Series last year. As crazy that was, once they get into the playoffs with that rotation, it's just phenomenal.
They do have a great rotation.
But now they're going to trade everyone. They're probably going to trade Castillo. They might trade Sonny Gray, Trevor Bowers. There's no way he's coming back. They can't afford him. Yep, traded what's his name? Iglesias. They got Amir Garrett, but looks like Michael Lorenzen, the 2A guy, is going to go into the rotation now. But yeah, they're I don't get why they went so in last offseason just to tear it down this year. I don't get it. I know you lost money, but dude,
that's wasting money, definitely.
These owners piss me off sometime, man. But yeah, guys, that's our tier list. Any final thoughts, man?
Something with the Dodgers, I forgot that they got Tommy Kahnle for, I'm pretty sure, a 2-year deal.
Well, he's not going to pitch this year because he's recovering.
Well, he's not, because after Tommy John surgery, but he's a great pitcher, decent.
Yeah, for sure. That's another thing about the Yankees too. Their bullpen isn't the same it was last year or 2 years ago. Like, Britton's still great. They got Chapman still, but Ottavino didn't have a good year, right?
Did not.
And then Chad Green, some of the guys, I think they'll definitely look to improve their bullpen.
Chad Green wasn't bad last year. He was okay.
Okay, but dude, their rotation is awful.
Yeah, it's
other than Garrett Cole and Severino, and you don't know what you're getting from Herman. And who are you gonna get? Get my boy Michael King in there. He's from Rochester, so I got a lot.
He is from Rochester.
Yeah, shout out to Yeah, we're Rochester-based channel if y'all don't know. And Michael King, that's our boy, man. Michael King for Cy Young.
Full support.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna move around this tier list to clickbait the shit out of the thumbnail. But here, I'll make it look like this. Or something like that. Or no, I gotta put Mets up there.
We put the Yankees in last.
Yeah. I'll just play it with my eyes closed, But yeah, guys, also quick announcement. If you didn't see it on our Instagram, and I posted a video about this. So it's kind of funny. We don't make money on this video, so it's not that big of a deal. Our last video got a copyright claimed by UMG. It was at Universal Music Group, and so that screws up the YouTube algorithm. So the last podcast episode's not going. It's not going to get into recommendations very well. So guys, please check that out. If it didn't hit your sub box, just type Big Apple Baseball banner. The video's up. It's just, we're going to deal with that. We're not going to play. We luckily told us what the copyrighted music was, but yeah. So also, guys, Mayor's not replacing Ben. Don't worry. He's going to come on for this. We're going to do this definitely a lot during the season. If any big moves, if nothing happens, we're not going to just make the same tier list, but this is just a fun idea we have, and we hope you guys enjoy. So, any last thoughts, Mayor?
Nah, I mean, let's hope this off season is pretty useful
Yeah, let's
for.
hope it's quickens up, man, because it's been
Yeah,
boring.
definitely. It is boring.
So yeah, Mayor, you got any social media you want to plug or anything now that you're coming on every now and then?
You guys can go follow me at Mayor Maury 16
Instagram,
on
right?
Instagram.
Yep.
Yeah, trying to get a 300. I'm almost there.
Dope, dope. All right, man. All right, guys. You can call into our show 585-622-4931 to get on our podcast. Check us out on Instagram, big.apple.baseball banter. Please like, comment, subscribe. We really appreciate all the support. Trying to grow the channel a bit here, and hope you guys enjoyed having Mayor on here. If you don't, just comment and I'll kick him off the show. No, I'm just kidding. But all right, guys. We'll see you next time. Peace.
All right, peace out.